Hello and welcome to this week's Elite Audio video, where we have a departure from our scheduled Musical Fidelity New Vista DAC review, because we had the most amazing opportunity to listen to, evaluate and review the brand new English Acoustics Downton Valve Pre and their 41C 30 watts per channel valve power amplifier. These were delivered courtesy of Neil Hood from English Acoustics, who drove over 400 miles to get here. Not that he was counting, but we have an interview with Neil and also our full review coming right up. To find out how it all went, please stay tuned. All is about to be revealed. Before we get started into the full review, let us commence with the interview with Neil Hood, who, as I said, came all the way from the headquarters of English Acoustics to deliver the Pre and Power. In fact, he brought two power amps, one in this most amazing sort of flip tone yellow metallic, and another in this very rich blue metallic finish, and also the Downton Pre, which had the most amazing flip tone colour on top. It is like British Racing Green one angle, aubergine at another, almost like black at another. Absolutely beautifully finished. So here is our interview with Neil. So today I have Neil from English Acoustics here in our showroom, and Neil has kindly driven how many miles today?
464.
Not that he's counting.
4 o'clock in the morning, we left this morning, so, but yeah, very happy to be here.
It's a mad drive, and in the weather, which has not been
nice.
the best.
No.
Neil has arrived here at our beautiful surroundings in the East Neuk of Fife. And normally it's one of the most picturesque areas. In fact, you were telling me before we started bidding, you do a lot of cycling, or have done.
Yeah, do a lot of cycling, and enjoy doing that. And we'd love to come up here and do some cycling.
You could cycle up here.
I wouldn't cycle. Well, could cycle up here. It might take a day or two, but
yeah, it would do.
It's a beautiful scenery. It wasn't, like I say, it's very foggy this morning, but I can see how beautiful Scotland is. Very nice.
We're lucky. We are blessed, as we often say. So obviously, English Acoustics, it's quite a striking brand in terms of the, I guess, this nostalgic throwback to what you know a lot of people would recognise as almost being it's based on the kind of a leak design.
Absolutely, yeah.
Was it Stereo 20?
The Stereo 20, yeah. I mean, obviously based on the old leak, but Peter really wanted to bring it into the modern times.
Yeah.
So he added lots of safety features within the amp, and that was his first design with his other two designers that he works with, and Tim and Adam. And basically it just grew from there. But obviously they started off with just a small amplifier first.
Yeah, of course.
And then obviously people bought and they enjoyed. But so for some people, might just need a little bit more power.
Sure.
You know, if their speakers aren't as efficient as they might have to have something a little bit more drive. So that's when the 41 came.
Yeah, which is obviously what you brought up. And we've just literally videoed Neil unboxing both the preamp and the 41.
That's right, and that's exactly how customers get the amps delivered.
I've got to say, before we get into it, I've made a list of questions for Neil. It's a bit like an interrogation when you come to Scotland. So it's just, see it as a kind of a rite of passage, Neil. You'll be fine. Once we get to question 73, you'll be fine at that point. But what is amazing is the attention, and I've never really seen this before at this kind of level, where a manufacturer actually creates a flight case for their components. What was the thinking? I mean, I know it's an obvious question, but what was the rationale? Because you could have gone down a more traditional route with boxes and packing.
A crate is the normal manner for these sort of things. Yeah. But we wanted the customers to have something that if they do move, it's very easy to put the amplifier back in. It's totally protected, and just an easy way of moving stuff around. And also, I think it's just nice to have a box that, you know, that's what the amplifier originally came with.
Sure.
You can put them up into the loft. They're not going to go all funny or mouldy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just the best way to move them around.
Indeed.
And it just made common sense to us to do it.
Because it is interesting you say that. I mean, we've seen, obviously, all the years I've been in this industry, we've seen quite a few trade-ins where the boxes haven't really stood the test of time very well, they come in and look like they've been subject to water damage or dampness and a bit of mould. Yeah. These are going to be...
They can go in the loft, they're not going to be affected by the water at all, and it's called pluck and pick. So basically the foam is cut exactly to the size, so it all goes around the amplifier. Yeah. And if it does get dropped from a fair height, it does have the protection it needs. Yeah. Because
I mean, it's impressive. I mean, 1,000 years from now, they'll still be here, and we'll be long gone.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely.
Unlike most packing from manufacturers. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to cut straight into Neil's questions. Here's a good one for you, actually. So tell me, how does English Acoustics maintain the quality and reliability of its products? Right, okay. And especially as I was reading on your website, you've got like a combined 100 years of experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously...
And you don't look a day over 40, I've got to say.
No, well, I'm 54 now. But no, between the designers, obviously got about 100 years experience. But Joe, who does the painting, is got many years experience. And we will not let anything go out unless it's perfect, you know? Yep. And Peter is really meticulous that we pick the best components. Nothing's ever built, we don't rush anything. Everything is got to be exactly right. And when we build stuff, it has to be passing certain tests all the way along the line. So, you know, we absolutely make sure that everything's tested. We use the best components, and that's how we produce it.
And that actually is, you know, is a good example to most manufacturers. I think it's always telling when a manufacturer's product is bought by people that work in the industry. And I'm going to use Lynette and Stu at Hi-Fi Pig. Okay. Obviously, they ordered their pink versions. Yeah, sure. But that's something they've invested in themselves, which that speaks volumes.
Yeah, absolutely. And I said, our attention to detail, I think that's when you look at the amplifiers and really appreciate it. And if you open up one of our amplifiers and look inside, you see the quality of the workmanship is...
I mean, going by your website, it looks impeccable. The internal build, the quality of that looks absolutely staggeringly good. So can you elaborate on the true heritage of your amplifiers and how do manufacturing and hardware design methods used for over 60 years contribute to modern day English acoustic amplifiers?
Well, I mean, I think because Pete had a leak as a teenager, you know, and that was his first sort of valve amplifier. And it's what he really loved, and I think it's the same for Tim and Adam as well. They always enjoyed the valve side rather than solid state. It's not saying, you know, this is what they like, and I think it had such an effect on Peter. That's why he really wanted to reborn the love of valve amplifiers and just bring it into the modern technology.
It's funny. I was chatting to someone yesterday about valve. In fact, a client came in yesterday, we were chatting about valves, and my first experience of valves was a young child on my parents' TV.
Yeah, sure.
And they stupidly went out and left me alone in the house, which is never a good thing anyway, actually, to be honest. Leaving me alone anywhere is never a good thing. I need to be accompanied by a responsible adult all the time.
Okay. Because your fingers went straight towards that valve.
This is interesting. So these TVs, obviously the cathode ray things, the backs in these things were huge.
Yeah.
And probably the composition of the back, it was like cardboard.
Yes.
And I remember taking it off, moving it. Little did I know how I was genuinely risking my life at this point.
Absolutely, high voltage.
And my dad's toolkit, and I'm kind of poking around the back and seeing all these valves. And here I'm still alive today, clearly...
I'm like me, no hair though.
Yeah, well that does explain a lot. You must have the same experience.
Yeah, I think we must have done, yeah, absolutely.
Interesting. So, so this is another good question, I think. What sets English Acoustics apart in terms of delivering this unrivaled tube amplifier performance for power, frequency range, and, as you claim, near zero distortion?
Well, again, it's all about no compromise on quality. I think if you let anything go, then you're not going to deliver what you tell people you can.
Sure.
So I think as long as we absolutely maintain the quality throughout at all times, and we test every amplifier for 100 hours.
I did notice that, and that's quite unusual because most manufacturers don't. They get a basic test, make sure it's working before it leaves the factory, and off it goes.
Exactly. No, I think because we want the customer to. It's a lifetime product. You buy it, and this is something that you can have for the rest of your life. You know, that's how good the quality is, and we want to give the people that backup as well. You know, knowing that we can, if repairs are needed in the future, we can repair as well, of course. Yeah. You know, but it's tested thoroughly, and I think that's the most important thing. And then obviously we'll talk about the safety features in a bit. But
well, yeah, I mean, actually, let's get straight into them. Talk about the safety features.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Peter obviously knew it's a valve amp, so obviously the valves are exposed, so obviously the kids' little fingers or someone mucking about,
or someone like me who
can't help himself. Touch. But there's a special logic board on there that they've worked on really hard to give it as much safety protection as you can possibly have. So on frequency overload, it will cut out. On thermal overload, it will cut out. It will cut out if someone starts shaking one of the valves. It knows it will cut out. If you knock it, it would turn off as well. Right. And also, if even not that you would, but if it did fall over upside down, which would be incredible. But he's even got switch.
That's usually what I do on a Saturday night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. But if that happened, even it would cut out.
Yeah.
So basically, it's got all the software and safety features on there that will protect the amp in any situation. So. And
that does kind of fly in the face of some other manufacturers where none of those safety features are included. Literally, you can go poking around. Yeah. You can knock it from the side. It's just going to keep running.
No, that's right. This will just turn itself off.
Yeah,
it will protect itself. That's the whole point, you know.
Good. That's a good safety features all built in. Yeah. Now, actually, I like this part, the customization part. Okay. Because for me, that might almost be a problem because I've been thinking, I wanted that shade.
There's lots of choices, isn't there?
There is, and I like that. What is the thinking behind that? Because
I think because obviously. It's a beautiful looking product, but the fact that you can have it in the colour that you want, so all of a sudden, I mean, I think people just like that. It's not just you've got more choice, but also for your lifestyle of your house, how you like it to look. It doesn't just have to be black or grey. It can be.
And I guess can the pre be built exactly the same? So
absolutely. You can have matching colour. The software at the back can be. We can give you different software on the transformer caps. You can have gold.
Really.
You can have different colours.
Because I noticed even on your website. So am I right in saying that the valves? Yeah. Can also be screen printed to match the colour too?
Well, no, we can screen print. Certain things can be screen printed on the valves. I don't know about if the colour can.
Right, because it did look like you maybe get some colour choice, not exactly matching the amplifier.
No, but there is different versions of the valves that you can have.
I like that. The customisation aspect really appeals. But here's the thing that I think is the most important. It's a proper UK built, designed,
absolutely,
and even you source your transformers locally.
Everything is
everything. That's great.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, we source everything in the UK, and it's I say to you It's only a low team of production building them, and like I said, there's testing, and it's very rigorous. We don't let anything go
It's
through.
almost a bespoke product, you could say.
It is. It's very labour intensive because it's everything's handmade. There's
What
no
do you think if you were to pick out? So I've kind of deviated from these questions,
sorry.
which is no. It's good. I think it's a good thing. What do you think is if you were to pick the top 3 things that make your amplifiers the best, what would you pick out? Say, well, it's this.
Well, the first thing is the sound quality.
Yeah,
is astonishing. You know, I've loved my hi-fi for over 35 years, and I've had virtually every brand. And you know, the sound quality of it is number one. That's the most important thing, and that shines through because that's what Peter always wanted: the best sound possible. And he won't allow anything to be the best components going into the amplifier. And obviously the choice that you can have it in any colour.
Yeah.
And obviously just back up, because obviously we're only a small company, but we honour any repairs that have to be done.
Well, that leads me nicely on to another question, which is the warranty. So it's 12-month parts and labour. What does it actually cover?
It covers all the components in the amplifier. So unless if someone snapped a valve off or something, obviously that's different, but it covers anything that malfunctions. So anything that malfunctions on the amplifier, we change free of charge when we make sure.
And valves, is that usual kind of 90-day warranty with valves?
I'm not sure what the warranty on it. I think the warranty should be, I think it is a year.
It is, right, wow.
Yeah.
If that's the case, what we'll do is we'll verify that before when we actually edit this.
I'm sure
we can double check on that, and if that's not correct, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen so we can double check that it is 90.
As far as I know, it's not. It is a year warranty on the valves as well.
I think we have covered just about everything that I had on my question list, and I just really genuinely want to thank you for driving the how many miles again? 454. 454.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll check that against the start of the video.
I'm sure it was 454.
Okay, it's maybe changed a few miles in the last 10 minutes.
I might have gained a few miles now.
But honestly, I want to thank you so much for coming in. It's an absolute pleasure to meet you, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I can't wait to have a proper listen now. We've got it unboxed and set up. So next thing Neil and I are going to be doing is putting this through its paces, and then when we do our video, as you'll be seeing it now, which will be on the Thursday, I'll get a chance to give you a full report on how it sounded, and that's going to be interesting. Neil, thanks again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Lovely, Mark. Thank you.